go Dolphins! What if I told you that the Miami Dolphins are being linked to a move that could completely alter the course of this rebuilding process and, at the same time, compromise their salary cap strategy for 2026? What if the front office is being pressured to make a decision that seems exciting at first glance, but that, deep down, could generate serious tension within the locker room? The buzz is real. National analysts are connecting the dots. Pro Football Focus pointed to Miami as the top destination for Deebo Samuel, and when that news broke, it immediately divided the fan base in two. Some see the all-pro version of Deebo in 2021. Others see a 30-year-old receiver entering a new phase of his career. But here's the question no one is really asking out loud. Does this move fit into the Dolphins' plans, or is it just a distraction from what the team really needs? Before I delve deeper, I need your attention. If you're a true Miami Dolphins fan, click the like button right now. Let's show the strength of this fan base. And I want to see the comments explode. Type Go Dolphins. Fins up if you believe this team is building something special for 2026. I read the comments and want to know who's supporting this rebuilding process to the end. Now, let's go. According to Pro Football Focus, the Miami Dolphins have been labeled as the #1 landing spot for Deebo Samuel in free agency. Yes, you heard that right. The Dolphins, supposedly, are the best destination for a 30-year-old wide receiver coming off an extensive career with San Francisco and Washington. On the surface, it sounds bold. But when we really dig into the details, things start to look very different. Deebo Samuel is entering his age 30 season. He was a former second-round pick out of South Carolina and had an unbelievable 2021 campaign where he earned All-Pro and Pro Bowl honors. That season, he was one of the highest-rated receivers in the NFL and was instrumental in multiple Super Bowl runs with the 49ers. There's no denying his peak was elite. Pro Football Focus connected the dots between Deebo and Bobby Slowick, who was part of the 49ers offensive staff when Samuel had that dominant All-Pro year. The logic is simple. Reunion equals revival. But is that realistic in 2026? Let's look at how Deebo produces. Last season, he ranked in the 92nd percentile in yards after the catch per attempt with 6.5 yards, ranking 7th among 83 qualified receivers. His strength has always been what he does with the ball in his hands, not necessarily his route running or vertical separation. In fact, nearly 80% of his receiving yards in 2022 came after the catch. That is a staggering number. But here's the reality Dolphins fans need to confront. Nearly 38.4% of his targets came behind the line of scrimmage, and 48% of his receptions were behind the line of scrimmage. That means almost half of his catches were design plays, screens, pop passes, quick touches, not him winning downfield as a true route-running wide receiver. Now ask yourself, why would a rebuilding Dolphins team commit approximately 2 years and $31.5 million, about $15.7 million per season, to a 30-year-old wide receiver whose production is heavily schemed and whose explosiveness is declining? The Dolphins do not have abundant cap space. They are likely limited to one major splash signing in the $10 to $15 million range annually. Is this really where you allocate those resources? Look at the current receiver room. Tyreek Hill is expected to be released, leaving Jalen Waddle, Malik Washington, and a group that lacks proven depth. The Dolphins absolutely need reinforcements. But reinforcements does not automatically mean overpaying for a veteran whose best production came years ago. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Malik Washington averaged 5.7 yards after the catch per reception last season. When narrowing the pool to receivers with at least 60 targets, Washington ranked 8th out of 66 in yards after catch per reception. Does that sound familiar? That's almost identical to what Deebo currently brings to the table. So if the argument is that Bobby Slowick could unlock Deebo again because of familiarity, why couldn't he unlock Malik Washington, who is younger, cheaper, and already on the roster? That's the question nobody at PFF seems to be asking. Miami should prioritize drafting a wide receiver in the top 100 and looking for bargain free agents. There are younger options in their mid-20s available who would cost significantly less. With limited cap flexibility, this front office must be strategic. Overspending on a 30-year-old YAC merchant simply doesn't align with where this roster is heading. This is where the controversy lies. Some fans see Deebo Samuel's name and remember the 2021 dominance. Others look at the financial commitment and the scheme fit and see unnecessary risk. The Dolphins are rebuilding. They need sustainable growth, not nostalgia-driven contracts. Because when you really analyze the situation calmly, without emotion, this suggestion simply doesn't line up with where this team is headed. The Dolphins are not one veteran wide receiver away from a championship push. They are restructuring key areas of the roster. Cap space is tight. Priorities have to be clear. And wide receiver, while a need, is not the place to overspend on a 30-year-old whose production is scheme-dependent. Let's go deeper. If Miami is going to hand out one significant contract in free agency, logic says it should go to the offensive line, edge rusher, or cornerback positions. Those are foundational pieces. Those are positions that protect the quarterback and affect opposing quarterbacks. Spending $15+ million per year on a receiver who thrives on manufactured touches doesn't maximize roster value, especially during a retooling phase. And here's something else that Dolphins fans need to think about carefully. Deebo Samuel likely wants to play for a team projected to contend. Miami, at this moment, is building towards something, but they are not viewed league-wide as a finished contender. So from both sides, the fit feels off. Financially questionable, timeline questionable, philosophically questionable. Now, contrast that with a draft approach. Miami drafting a receiver in the top 100 makes far more sense. A rookie contract gives flexibility. Youth gives long-term upside. And pairing that rookie with Jalen Waddle and Malik Washington creates a younger core that can grow together within Bobby Slowick's system. Free agency doesn't need to be flashy. It needs to be efficient. There are options projected to sign one-year deals under $3.5 million per season. Kendrick Bourne is 30 but brings locker room presence and experience working with Slowick. Taquan Thornton offers blazing speed and could function as a vertical threat. Demi Brown showed productivity in 2024 and has upside at just 25 to 26 years old. Those are calculated gambles. Low risk, potential reward. That's how smart teams operate when cap space is limited. And don't forget, the Dolphins are likely only capable of one splash signing in that $10 to $15 million annual range. If you burn that on Deebo, you're limiting flexibility everywhere else. You're committing premium dollars to a player whose game relies heavily on behind the line of scrimmage usage, with 48% of his receptions coming in that area. That's not a true outside receiver solution. That's a specialized weapon. Now imagine this scenario. Bobby Slowick unlocks Malik Washington instead. Washington already ranked 8th among receivers with 60+ targets and yards after catch per reception. He is younger, cheaper, and already in the building. If the scheme is what elevated Deebo in 2021, then why not bet on internal development instead of external spending? This is where the front office earns its paycheck. Do they chase a recognizable name, or do they stay disciplined? Because let's be honest, the 2021 version of Deebo Samuel was special, but that was 5 years ago. The league moves fast. Wide receivers age quickly. Explosiveness declines. And once that YAC advantage starts slipping, the overall impact drops with it. The Dolphins need sustainability. They need cap flexibility for 2026 and beyond. They need to build a roster that peaks together, not one that borrows from the past. So here's the big question as we head into the heart of the offseason. Should Miami ignore the outside noise and stick to a youth-driven rebuild? Or should they take a calculated swing on a veteran like Deebo Samuel and hope Bobby Slowick can recreate magic from 2021? Now let's bring everything together and close this out the right way. When you strip away the headlines and the excitement around the name, the reality becomes clearer. Deebo Samuel's best football came when he was the focal point of a creative system that fed him manufactured touches, screens, and design plays. Nearly 38.4% of his targets came behind the line of scrimmage, and 48% of his receptions were in that same area. That tells you exactly how his production is built. It's not primarily through separation downfield. It's not winning consistently on intermediate or vertical routes. It's schemed touches and yards after catch. And yes, he was elite at it. In 2021, he was a first-team All-Pro and one of the highest-rated receivers in the league. That season is burned into everyone's memory. But the Dolphins cannot make 2026 decisions based on 2021 nostalgia. He is entering his age 30 season. Spotrac projects a 2-year deal worth around $31.5 million, roughly $15.7 million per year. For a team that does not have significant cap flexibility and is likely limited to one splash signing in that $10 to $15 million annual range, that is a massive commitment. And if you allocate that money to Deebo, you are passing on help at offensive line, edge, or corner, positions that arguably impact winning more consistently. Meanwhile, the Dolphins already have a younger, cheaper YAC-oriented option in Malik Washington, who averaged 5